Hello world, SEGHTER here, and today I am commenting upon some World of Tanks gameplay featuring the Steel Hunter mode, which, in the words of someone like Klaus Kellerman, isn't the most interesting mode, but for me it's far more profitable because it yields more XP, which I'm talking about, of course, the Battle Pass XP and more silver. So basically, it's a win-win situation as opposed to standard battles. The only major drawback to this is the fact that you don't get to level up your tanks or your crews in the standard mode. And this is a drawback, but at the same time, it is one of the best things you can do in World of Tanks because this yields far more benefits than hindrances. So basically, we will get to the gameplay and I will explain you my train of thought, which led me to first place, a well-deserved first place due to some things that I anticipated quite well, and I had the better choices in mind when it came to playing this video game. So let's get to it, and I will comment it as we go along with the gameplay. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and if you do, drop a like, get involved in the comments, and um, I'm looking forward to talk to you about World of Tanks gameplay and gameplay in general. So here we go. Basically, this is the first time which I took the Varyag for a spin, and I was pleasantly surprised with this tank. Basically, it's one of the best tanks you can get in Steel Hunter, and I thought myself that Valkyrie was a very good tank, but Varyag is even a better tank. It's pretty much fail-safe and it has more speed than the Valkyrie, and at the same time it's uh, it's quite powerful. It has decent penetration, albeit I used mostly gold, and of course in Steel Hunter the biggest drawback to things is the fact that you have slow vehicles. I beg your pardon for the voice not holding up to par. And my voice is cracking up. And the major inconveniences are related to the fact that you have fast vehicles which can run circles around you, so you have to be very careful about that. And there is a constant struggle between choosing either dynamics or top speed as your third or first option in this sense, because the Varyag gets this first. It has an innate advantage over something like the Raven or the Harbinger Mark IV, not to mention the Valkyrie, which is really slow, and foes have a good time running circles around you, so you have to be very careful about that. On the other hand, I saw Chems, Ghems. He has a YouTube channel which features a lot of funny World of Tanks moments, and I saw him having a blast ramming people to death in his Valkyrie. So that, of course, is a feasible strategy, but you have to catch your enemy off guard. Beg your pardon? So this guy was quite a peeve to me. It was giving me a headache because he held the high ground, and he basically was just peppering me bit by bit, pricking at the seams of my tank and getting really good DPM upon me. But he eventually gave up, and he wanted to go in for the kill, and therein lies his fatal mistake, because he overestimated and he clearly got messed up by my superior firepower. So the Varyag is a really good tank, and this is the turning point in which I consider myself to have made the right decision, opting for health points as opposed to armor, because it would have been really easy to go for armor, and I didn't choose that. I didn't choose to commit to that. But in the long run, it will prove to be the proper decision. Not only due to the fact that you get more speed if you focus on health points as opposed to armor, but
we use only the latest, greatest technology.
you know, we're just trying to loot all the supply drops and and get the loot points, the loot boxes ready, and that serves a huge deal this tank, because this tank can lay minefields. Do not underestimate the power of minefields. There are many times in which I got effectively messed up by minefields playing against Varyags. So this guy is about to find out, because I will use the minefield upon him. Not until he makes the move and he tries to rush me. And this is where I decide to use my minefield, with not such a good effect. As you guys can see, I didn't manage to catch the guy, but this is when I managed to get him, and the consequences for him are disastrous. This is pretty much an overpowered strategy, because the guy doesn't know where the mines are, and this is where I don't regret picking up health over armor, because that slight advantage in health allowed me to carry on and to vanquish the foe Raven. So the situation is pretty much the same. We are going to get the supply drop first, and then we are going to see who do we have to deal with and how can we approach the situation. And the guy is an Arlequin. The Arlequin, as far as I know, is a very strong tank, but in the beginning it isn't much to write home about. And the guy makes a couple of mistakes over here. Instead of effectively running from me, which would be the best strategy in this situation, he tries to challenge me even with gold. So this is the second time in which I use my minefield, and the guy effectively gets obliterated by my minefield. And as you guys can see, the armor is holding up really well, and this is when I decide to stop shooting at the guy, focusing instead on his fireball, which effectively hits me, because if I would have shifted to the standard ammunition, which has more damage, I would have been able to destroy the fireball. But it was my mistake, because as you guys can see, the standard ammunition has 650 health points of damage as opposed to 450 or so. I should have been easily able to destroy that fireball, but my bad. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter that much, because there are only 2 foes left, and those 2 vehicles are basically one Varyag, which I will fight at the last, and one Valkyrie, which I'm about to meet, and I will use my minefield once again, because this thing is so good. It's just a shame not to use it. And the guy tries to rush me, but he doesn't manage to do anything. In this situation, I think that I made the really good call to use premium ammunition, because it yielded the ability to just pound his turret continuously, use my superior DPM, and even those ridiculous shots, which should have, I beg your pardon, effectively bounced, have been possible due to the fact that I have used premium ammunition. So the guy is almost dead. That minefield placement was the worst thing I did in this match, but this is how it goes. And I really feel sorry for the last guy over here, because the Varyag is just barely at the second stage of his evolution, like I think a maximum or tier 3 or something like that. I don't really know. He barely has a better gun, and the rest is just stock, I think. And he really doesn't stand a chance against this Leviathan that I have created. So this is how it goes. This is Deer Hunter for you. It's not fair. It's really depends upon which you you get to shoot, but this was a very good run on my part. I'm really happy with this game. And in my opinion, I really encourage you people to play the events in World of Tanks if you are into World of Tanks. If you don't like World of Tanks, don't play it. You should give it a try, but no one is forcing you to do that. So basically now I have shifted to the standard ammunition, which yields a monstrous 700 or something like that. 650, but I already did like 720 damage to that guy, as opposed to 450, I think. Yeah. And the penetration is really good. 240 millimeters penetration are really good. This time, I realized that he has laid mines over here. So basically, you can already see those things, and his mines expired, and I wasn't caught off guard. I didn't lose any health. So yeah, that was a really good call on my part. And the guy will try to rush me, but as you guys can see, he cannot make ends meet. Basically, he's inferior to what I have become. I'm going for the supply drop, of course, because no matter the situation, you always need supply drops, you always need ammunition, you always need consumables, and I strongly suggest that going for those. And once you get to the third or fourth level, you can go for enemy players. Because if you go before that, the chances of winning are very, very dependent upon you making the very precise decisions, shooting surgically your foe. And if you do not do that, you're in a world of hurt. And this has been a clutch situation because I was caught off guard. And I almost messed it up over here, but the Varyag decides to throw it all away. He makes a hardcore push, and he's about to die. So this is the game for you. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and
I never doubted you for a second.
I await further comments on your part. Thanks for watching. Sag out, and have a great weekend, and overall, a wonderful time. Take care.